And that's where our drama really begins. I can't tell you anymore. You just have to read the book, y'all. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jer and I'm so excited that you decided to stop by my little corner of the internet today. So I make all types of videos, just whatever I feel like making at the time, whether it's a walking video or a faith video or a career video. Today, in honor of Black History Month, as an avid reader, I wanted to share some of my favorite books by Black authors. So I have always enjoyed reading. Even as a little girl, I would get in trouble because I would be reading past my bedtime. That's how much I love reading. But last year I actually read 37 books. So a lot of the recommendations that I give today will be books that I've read within the last couple of years. Now, just a little disclaimer, okay? Before we get into it, I used to always read physical copies of books, and then when I started working in an office a few years ago, I liked being able to read at my desk but still look like I was doing work. So I started to read Kindle books. I don't have physical copies of all of the books that I'll be sharing with you today. I also go to the library a lot because I read so many books and I want to save a little bit of money. So just keep that in mind. Don't judge me. I hope that you'll walk away with at least one book suggestion that you really like and fall in love with. And the first one that I want to start with is my favorite book of all time, All the Days Past and All the Days to Come by Miss Mildred D. Taylor. She's my favorite author. This is my favorite book series. So basically, this is the final book in the Logan family saga, and it follows the Logan family starting in the 1930s during the Great Depression in Mississippi, and it spans over decades. The story is centered around Cassie Logan, and basically I feel like I grew up with her because I started reading the series when I was in 5th grade. But it basically chronicles her journey from childhood to adulthood. Miss Taylor does such an amazing job of capturing Black life, love, heartbreak, family, land ownership, and racism that the main characters experienced during that time, that a lot of people experienced during that time. I remember being younger and reading these books and learning about so many things that we never talked about in school, and maybe I only heard them when I was talking to my grandmother or older family members. Miss Taylor writes in a way that makes you feel like you're living this experience along with the main characters. Like whenever I finish reading one of her books, I literally miss the characters. That's how connected I feel to her writing and the characters that she's writing about. Some of the characters in her books are based on her actual family members, and I think that's so special. So coming in at a close second is The Love Songs of W.E.B. DuBois, and it is by Honoree Jeffers. I don't know if I'm saying her first name correctly, and I don't want to mess up her second name. So out of respect for Miss Jeffers, I will not mess up her name. Okay, but this book was amazing. Now, she is a little thick. Okay, she a little thickums. It was almost 800 pages, I believe, so it took me a little minute to read it. But the main character, her name is Ailey Pearl Garfield. It's a multi-generational book. It really just uncovers the stories of the women that went before her, and it really makes you think about who you are today and how much of that is shaped by where you come from. So if you have the opportunity, definitely check out that book. The next book that I want to share is also one of my favorites. It's called The Thing About Home by Rhonda McKnight. And our main character is a social media content creator. So she spends a lot of her life in the limelight. And then she comes to this crossroads where she has to confront the person that she has become and who she was meant to be. And I think this book really resonates with me because I found myself in a similar position at the time that I was reading this book. So I was thinking about my career and what I really wanted out of my career, and my love life, what I really wanted out of my love life. And I read this book back in 2023 before I moved to another state and right before I started dating my husband. And I feel like this book was just so special and meaningful to me because I could really resonate with the main character. So definitely give this book a try. It's such a sweet read. I really liked it. It also talks about her family history. I love historical fiction, so this book was not historical fiction, but we did get to see a glimpse of some of her ancestors and the things that they were experiencing. I give that book a 10 out of 10. I'm probably going to give all of these books a 10 out of 10 because they're just that great. They're just awesome books. Our next book is called Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi. I also read Transcending Kingdom by Yaa Gyasi back in 2020, and I had seen this book and I was curious about it, so I decided to give it a try, and I'm so glad that I did. She's an amazing writer, and this book is about two sisters that are in Ghana and they become separated. So one sister is in America, one sister stays in Africa, and it chronicles the journey that their families went through during that time. It is also historical fiction. So this book does a great job of showing how history echoes through families and how the past continues to shape the present. So I really enjoyed this book. Check out Yaa Gyasi. She is an amazing writer. If you have the opportunity, also check out Transcendent Kingdom by her. The Vanishing Half by Bennett is also about sisters. This book is about twin sisters though. So they live in this community that is filled with very, very light complected Black people. Not to give away too much about the book, but the sisters become separated. One sister decides to pass as a white woman. One sister lives her life as a Black woman. So the book chronicles their journeys, how those decisions affect their lives and the lives of their loved ones. So that book was historical fiction. If you haven't noticed by now, I really love historical fiction. So of course, my next recommendation is also historical fiction. It is called The House of W.E.B by Sadequa Johnson. If you've never read one of her books before, I strongly encourage you to run to your nearest bookstore or your nearest Amazon cart and immediately purchase one of her books. She's an amazing writer. I love Sadequa Johnson, but this has to be my favorite book by her. The House of W.E.B shares the stories of two different Black women. They are very intelligent. They're both very ambitious. One of them is on her way to being the first woman in her family to go to college. So this is really big. And then she's faced with this tough decision. Then you have another woman. She's also very intelligent. She's at Howard University. So they're in two different states. So she's at Howard University, and she just met this amazing man. He comes from a very prominent family, and they're very picky about who they let get close to them. So the story shares how their lives intertwine, basically. Our next book is Sweetness in the Skin by Ishi Robinson, and I apologize if I'm not saying her name correctly, but this was a very intriguing read. So it's a coming of age story, and it's set in Jamaica. The way that she writes, I feel like I was actually in Jamaica, and I realized that up until that point, I had never read a book that was based in Jamaica. I feel like I was actually there. Our main character's nickname is Pumpkin, so that's what we'll call her. Pumpkin is having a tough life so far. There are a lot of different things that are going on in her life. She's a very talented baker, and that becomes her saving grace. So definitely check that out. It is, I feel like, geared towards a younger crowd, but as an adult, I really enjoyed reading it. My next recommendation is Where Wild Peaches Grow by Cade, Bentley. For me, it was a very nostalgic read. There were history elements. It was not historical fiction. It was set in modern times, but our main character is Nona Davenport. Her nickname is Peaches, and Peaches was born in Natchez, Mississippi, but for the last 15 years, she's been living in Chicago, but she has to return to Natchez, Mississippi because her father passed away. And when she returns, there's just so many things that begin to unravel. She hasn't spoken to her old love, like her first love that still lives there. She hasn't spoken to her sister. Like, there's just so much that unravels in this story. So if you like books about family secrets and betrayal, a little bit of drama, a little bit of love, a little bit of happiness, then this will be a good book for you. Now, I am not really a fan of romantic fiction or rom-com fiction. I like rom-com movies, but I don't necessarily like reading rom-com just because for me, sometimes they feel a little bit cheesy. But The Many Days of Indigo by Amber D. Samuel was a fantastic read. So it's about this young woman and she's navigating dating and family and friendship. I feel like the way that she writes this book is realistic. And it didn't feel cheesy to me. It felt heartwarming. You were rooting for your main character. You want to see things work out for the main character. You want to see her happy, whatever that looks like for her. So as she's moving through these dates, she's also learning about boundaries and what she really wants, what's important to her. And so if you enjoy books about love and self-worth, then this will be a great read for you. So for my next book, we are moving back to historical fiction. This is The Filling Station by Vanessa Miller. This book is set in 1921 during the Tulsa Race Massacre, and it follows two sisters that were present at the time of the massacre, and they find refuge at this place called the Threat Filling Station. So the Threat Filling Station was an actual place. Even though the characters are fictional, the Threat Filling Station existed, and I think this book does a great job of highlighting what that community really went through during that time. Now, there are some parts of the book that are sad, but I also feel that is realistic. So if you love historical fiction and you don't mind a little bit of a heavier read, this book will be a great option for you. My last and certainly not least book recommendation is One House Over by Mary Monroe. So this book is set in 1930s Alabama. It's historical fiction and it is filled with drama. I have never read a historical fiction drama, but this book was so good. Y'all, I was reading this book in the shower. I have told all my friends about this book because this is truly a page turner. When I tell you, this is one of 3 books in the series, and I read the entire series in like a week. The books are so good. Oh my goodness. So we have this main character. Her name is Joyce, and I'm going to tell you like I told my friends. Think bad and bougie, but not bad when it comes to Joyce. And that's not the way that I describe Joyce. That's what the book described Joyce, okay? I didn't say anything bad about Joyce. So Joyce has a job. She still lives with her parents, but there's so much pressure on her to get married. Her parents own this convenience store, and they are one of the wealthiest people in this community. And they hire this new guy to work at their convenience store. And basically, I'll share this because if you read the book's description, you can already figure this information out. But along the way, Joyce and this guy, Odell Watson, end up getting married and they move into their new home. There is this couple that moves in next door to them, and the couple are bootleggers. And that's where our drama really begins. I can't tell you anymore. You just have to read the book, y'all. You just have to read the book. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for staying. This is my first time doing a book review, so hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy these book recommendations, then please give this video a thumbs up and comment below what are some of your favorite books by Black authors. I would definitely love to check out what you're reading so we can share our recommendations with each other. If you would like for me to continue making videos like this, then please also leave that in the comments below so that I know I'm not just talking to myself. All right, I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day, whatever day it is that you're watching this, and I'll see you next time.